The second half of the Italian First Division season starts today. And for the second-place team in the table, there's ground to be gained. Juventus currently stand 3 points behind Milan. And now they must take on Fiorentina and their colourful supporters. Juventus began their tilt at the title with a home win over Fiorentina. But it was a narrow one. De Agostini. Yes! The power in the air of Casiraghi brings Juventus their first goal of the season. Luigi De Agostini, who set up that goal for Casiraghi back in September, is unable to take his regular place today. His trusty left foot is damaged, and his job passes to the versatile Giancarlo Marocchi, who wears the number 3. Otherwise, it's very much Giovanni Trapattoni's regular team, with so much spotlight on Roberto Baggio, who began his career here with Fiorentina and still retains a great affection for the club. Baggio under the microscope again, as he was in this fixture last year when he declined to take a penalty for Juventus, giving the responsibility to De Agostini. The kick was saved and Fiorentina beat Juventus by a 0-0. Today's Fiorentina side has goalkeeper Maraggini fit again, but the defence is struck down by suspensions for Pioli and Dell'Olio. Fiondella and Salvatore come back into the side. There have been doubts all week about the midfield player Iachini, who's been suffering with flu. Very important for Fiorentina that he has recovered, because he's expected to dog the footsteps of Baggio. Our commentary team in the Stadio Comunale in Florence this afternoon: Trevor Francis, the former Sampdoria and Atalanta star, now manager of Sheffield Wednesday, and Peter Brackley.
So Fiorentina it is who get us underway on this sunny but blustery afternoon in Florence, with the memories still lingering from the UEFA Cup final confrontation of 2 years ago. Security has been stepped up today in a bid to erase any possible hostility. It's a tense atmosphere, though, and Juve's championship aspirations are on the line in Florence against a team rather anxious to ease their own problems near the other end of the table. And in fact, the referee deciding that the game has to be restarted here. And there was a delay before the kickoff. So many streamers being thrown onto the field and being blown just about everywhere, so the debris had to be cleared before the match could get underway. The temperature around 12 degrees, and I would think this wind is going to cause a problem or two. Or free kick, in fact, given to Fiorentina, whose form has been better at home than it has been on their travels. So it'll certainly be a strong test here for Juventus this afternoon. Juventus with just 2 defeats in the league so far. Fiorentina with just the one outright striker in Batistuta. This is Dunga, so influential for them in the midfield, and the captain of Fiorentina. Juventus on the defensive here. This is Casiraghi, getting cheered and whistled by the Fiorentina fans. And that results from the rather untidy scuffle that occurred in the first match back on the opening day of the season, when Casiraghi was involved with goalkeeper Maraggini at the end of the first half.
Well, quite clearly it's a very hostile atmosphere here in Florence today, and I think this man in your picture here is going to play a big part in this game. He's already shown the yellow card. I think that he wants to stop.
Salvatore, the first player then to be cautioned in this game, and we've only been playing a couple of minutes. The referee is Arcangelo Pezzella, and he's got a tough job on today. There's a fierce rivalry between the two teams. It goes Reuter. There's a useful cross in too. And over the bar from Alessio.
I think it took a slight deflection.
It's hard to tell, actually. The wind is so strong. Let's look at this again. And, well, yes, it did seem to nick a defender on the way. This is Maialaro. And he and Orlando have been named in the same starting 11 for the first time in some while. Coach Radici normally prefers to leave one of them on the bench. Rather similar players, both very talented players. Free kick to Fiorentina. Another yellow card. So he's having his work cut out early on. Here's referee Pazzella.
It's quite obvious that the referee is trying to stamp his authority on the game from the first minute, but I think that really didn't warrant a booking. Straightforward sort of challenge from Gallia.
Dunga trying to chip it in.
Yes, I was interested to see where Gallia was going to play today, because with the loss of D'Agostini, Juventus do lose a little bit of balance on the left-hand side, and I felt that perhaps Gallia would play in that role, but at the moment it doesn't appear to be playing there, playing his more accustomed role in midfield.
Yes, a big blow to lose D'Agostini for Juventus. There was also a doubt about Cola, but he's come through a fitness test. Shot there was from Iachini. So plenty of determination being shown here by Fiorentina in the early stages. In by Orlando. And the header, and there's no flag, is there? The goal's been given. Batistuta. Everybody turned across to the linesman, but there was no flag for offside. And the goal stands. So wild celebrations among the Fiorentina fans. Batistuta with a free header at the end. But Trevor Francis, he did look suspiciously offside, to say the least.
Yes, Karabi played a hopeful sort of ball into the box. Juventus are looking for the offside. The linesman doesn't put his flag up. That's a tremendous start for Fiorentina.
So a tremendous start for Fiorentina. Juventus, the team in second place, are trailing by a goal to nil. Batistuta with his fourth goal of the season, the Argentine international, and a real problem then for Trapattoni to contend with. Rocky with Batistuta. Batistuta, who's keeping Borgonovo out of the Fiorentina lineup. Now Carrera. Julio Cesar. A layoff from Schillaci to Carrera. Casiraghi. Now can Reuter get his cross in from here? Not with Karabi closing him down so quickly. Chasing, of course, their 23rd Italian title. Still with ground to make up on Milan, the pacemakers. Carrera, tempting cross in, and just flick wide then. Schillaci, I think it was, who made the contact. Julio Cesar, Alessio. Free kick to Fiorentina, so the danger passes.
Well, that was a good chance for Schillaci. Lovely ball played into the near post. Schillaci got in front of Maragini and should have done better. Didn't really make enough contact with the ball with his head. And the chance went.
It was certainly a let-off for Fiorentina. Good jump by Julio Cesar. Now Dunga pulling all the strings in midfield for Fiorentina. Very nearly sending Karabi away then. Shows such intelligent distribution, Dunga. The Florence crowd in great heart here. Good voice too, really making themselves heard around the stadium. There's Julio Cesar, tough and uncompromising defender. And has Marocchi kept that one in play? I don't think so.
This is a very, very big crowd here today in Florence. I think that wherever Juventus go, there's always tremendous interest. They are the equivalent of Manchester United in this country. They attract thousands. They've got a fantastic name throughout Italy. There's a full house here today in Florence with tremendous atmosphere.
There's around 45,000 in the stadium. Covering tackle was from Carrera. There's Reuter, Gallia. He's given it away though to Dunga. And a chance again for Batistuta. And this time the flag is up for offside. But he was almost in again then, Batistuta. Very alert to the possibility after Orlando had won the ball. And you can see from Orlando's reaction there, the flag had already gone up.
Yes, once again, as a result of poor Juventus defending. It was Carrera who was caught in possession by good pressing from Orlando. Ball went to Batistuta, and this time the linesman was much more alert. He got his flag up straight away.
And the free kick, I think, has been given. Indeed it has. Baggio, as ever, will oversee the operation. So another examination here of the Fiorentina defence. Called over by Baggio. Header away wasn't too effective. I think there was a hand up then from Alessio, and he didn't make contact anyway. This is Salvatore. Goes Iacchini, losing out though. Baggio. Now Reuter. Iacchini though snapping back into the tackle. Dunga for Fiorentina. Now Alessio. A lot more fluency about the game at the moment. I think there was a suggestion early on, Trevor, that it might have got out of hand with some of the early tackles that were flying in.
Yes, I don't think the crowd helped, did they? It's very, very hostile first few minutes, and they were looking for trouble, weren't they, at the start of the game? And every time that Juventus player went in to try and tackle, they were looking for the referee to bring out the yellow card. He obliged on a couple of occasions, but it has settled down now.
Julio Cesar to Marocchi. Now Baggio setting himself up. Goalkeeper's lost it, Schillaci. Well, he was lurking, he was hoping, but nothing came his way. Managgini just about managed to hold on at the second attempt. Foul on Casiraghi. Alessio. This is Schillaci. Down goes Orlando. No free kick given though. Now there'll have to be one.
Yes, once again it's Facenda. Certainly a battle between him and Casiraghi. Very tough character, Facenda. Come across him once or twice in local derbies between Sampdoria and when he played at Genoa.
Yes, you'd not want to meet him in a dark alley. Well, he met Casiraghi there, illegally, and it's, well, dicing with danger, certainly, to present free kicks to Juventus in that kind of position with the likes of Baggio around, as Mataggini will well know. So he'll hope the covering ahead of him is right. Baggio, great save. Casiraghi couldn't get in there, and the chance has gone. Superb goalkeeping then by Mataggini to beat away the shot from Baggio. Here's Baggio again. Iachini with it. I did just wonder there, Trevor, whether, I think it was Casiraghi going in, was pulled back. We'll see again from the replay.
Yes, I thought that myself, actually. He seemed to be pulled back, but it was certainly a good save from Mataggini. Well-struck shot from Baggio.
And here's the break now for Fiorentina. No, the referee bringing play back. But without question, Mataggini has preserved Fiorentina's lead in this first half. Alessio. Handball, surely then by Reuter. A Brazilian, a German and an Italian try to sort it out. And the outcome is a free kick to Fiorentina. Fabulous atmosphere in the stadium. And it's looking now as if Fiorentina are going to go in with, albeit a slender lead, unless Juventus can create something here right at the end of the first 45 minutes. Reuter skipping one tackle. There's Marocchi. Baggio, clever flick off. Gallia. Julio Cesar. Dunga with the interception. And there's nobody upfield for Fiorentina apart from Batistuta. Jürgen Kohler on his mettle. So we've had now almost 2 minutes of time added on. But there is the final whistle to end the first half, and a very eventful one it's been too. A controversial start with a goal after 7 minutes from Batistuta, which Juventus clearly felt was offside. One or two other chances too for Fiorentina, but some great goalkeeping from Mataggini to keep out Juventus. Plenty to play for in the second half. Join us again. It's Fiorentina 1, Juventus 0.
Alaska's Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, a diverse and fragile wilderness threatened by America's seemingly insatiable desire for oil. Can this finely balanced ecosystem survive development of its rich natural resources, or will it be despoiled irredeemably? Yet another ecological dilemma for this fragile Earth. 7 o'clock Monday.
The haunting sound of Gaelic mouth music, a new release on compact disc from SBS Music. A fusion of ancient lyrics and the latest technology in a bold musical experiment. Original and daring mouth music, available now from SBS Marketing and all good music stores.
On Friday, Letters from Vietnam.
Yesterday, I went to see the man at the Australian embassy. He told me that he didn't have any news for me.
The TV people who went to Saigon to film you came to our place and showed us the video that they made. The most precious moment was when your daughter saw you. After 4 years. She always talks about you. She misses you so much.
Your mother is fine, and God should be thanked for that. Because she's the real anchor for all of us in the family. For your brothers, their wives, your father, me, the children.
Cabramatta is a unique place. For Carol, it is also the main cultural link with our country, because her memories of Saigon are so hazy.
The award-winning Letters from Home on Connections, 8:30 Friday, SBS.
So welcome back to the Comunale Stadium in Florence as Juventus then start the second half. Trailing by a goal to nil, but they certainly had their opportunities in the first 45 minutes. And I would think will consider themselves a little unlucky to be a goal down. Certainly a controversial one, which will need some studying, I think, to sort out whether it was offside or not. But it certainly stands in the record books, and Juventus have a lot to do in this second half. Carrera. Now here goes Casiraghi. And I think a bit of a misunderstanding there, maybe between linesman and referee. I didn't quite see what happened, but Fiorentina was suddenly back in possession.
Yes, it appeared that Casiraghi's shirt was pulled back by Facenda, but the referee didn't give the free kick.
Well, Casiraghi certainly felt there was an offence. Julio Cesar, who's often come forward for Juventus in this game. Casiraghi couldn't turn quickly enough. Alessio appealing, and indeed it is a Juventus free kick.
Good positive start from Juventus at the start of the second half. They didn't do too badly in the first half. One or two good chances, one from Schillaci at the near post, and just before half-time I felt that Baggio was in a good opportunity from the free kick. Good save from the keeper Marigiana.
Here's Gallia, who's often popped up with some useful goals for Juventus in recent years, including a very important one against Fiorentina in the UEFA Cup final, one of the two legs there. Now, is that a corner? The referee says yes. Good, strong, positive running then by Maialaro. And despite the complaints of the Juventus defenders, the referee has given the corner. Maialaro will take it. Four in the box now for Fiorentina. It was a poor corner. Alessio, and he was impeded, so free kick to Juventus.
Yes, 4 Fiorentina attackers in the box and 8 Juventus defenders. I think it's slightly favoured Juventus there.
And off come Juventus once more with Marocchi. Schillaci trying to shake off Fiondella.
That was good play from Schillaci. Been a good run down the channel there. Turned his marker Fiondella. Was pulled back.
Now, there's a change being made by Juventus. And it is Di Canio who's going to come on, and Marocchi who's going off. Marocchi who's slotted into D'Agostini's role on the left side. Without, it has to be said, a great deal of success. So Di Canio is now on. And we'll see just where he fits in a moment. There's Baggio's free kick. Wasn't cleared too effectively, though, by Fiorentina. Jurgen Kohler with the header. And eventually cleared by Facenda. This is Batistuta with Reuter. There's no flag. Maialaro. Perfectly timed tackle, though, by Jurgen Kohler. By Carrera, rather.
They don't come more important than that. He was the last man in defence. It was a life-saving tackle for Juventus.
That could so easily have been a second goal if Carrera hadn't mistimed that one. Now Alessio, who switched then to the left. Crunching tackle by Dunga. Alessio still got his cross in. And it's well wide. From Baggio. Away by Gallia. And in the last few minutes, Fiorentina beginning to enjoy a little more of the play. So maybe they're not just content to sit back on the one goal.
Yes, I think that's come about since Marocchi went off, because Trapattoni has made a positive move by bringing on Di Canio. But of course they are left a little bit open now in midfield. Baggio pushing forward with Schillaci and Casaraghi. Alessio and Di Canio on the flanks. It's a very, very adventurous approach by Trapattoni.
There's Dunga with the shot. He can be lethal from long range, Carlos Dunga, the Brazilian. But he was a long, long way out then. And it was no test for Tacconi. Schillaci appealing for handball. And cannot believe that the referee has not given it. And he looks so menacing when he glares at you, Schillaci. Wasn't too happy about that decision at all. Julio Cesar. Di Canio. Now Reuter. Casiraghi. Blocked by Karobi. In towards Casiraghi, who turned sharply. And that was pretty close into an own goal from Facenda. Steering it past his own goalkeeper, Maragini, but safely away for the corner.
They're just searching for that break on the Juventus. They're getting plenty of balls now in the penalty box. Plenty of players in there. Baggio's getting forward, as I say, to support Schillaci and Casaraghi. They're just looking for that little bit of luck. It's going to bring them the equaliser.
Yes, they haven't had that many chances. But enough to have got themselves back on level terms, certainly. Dunga now. Hoping to spring Fiorentina into the attack. Carrera. Here's Iachini. Neat layoff then by Orlando. And the free kick given to Fiorentina for the foul on Karobi. Stefan Karobi, the former Milan player. Just a fringe player, really, at the San Siro. Schillaci. Tumbled though by Salvatore. Reuter with the free kick. Baggio. Iachini inevitably was there. And this time fouls him. It's been a fascinating duel between the two. Skill and flair of Baggio and the persistence of Iachini. And there it is in evidence again. And he's penalised once more. He felt he was being tugged back. The referee favours Baggio.
So many fouls at the moment, Peter, that you just get the feeling that if Juventus could get inside that penalty box, the referee may just give them a penalty, because they've not had too many decisions go their way this afternoon.
Here's Schillaci. Didn't really link up well, though, with Alessio. Now Baggio. Well, that was a fearsome challenge by Salvatore. In fairness, Baggio was straight back on his feet again. But clearly a free kick, which Baggio himself is trying to take. Again, Iachini doesn't want to retreat the necessary yards or meters, so it's a yellow card for him.
That's good refereeing, because he's continually done that all afternoon, preventing Baggio from taking the free kick. No more than 2 yards off the ball. I'm surprised, actually, that he's allowed it to go on as long as he has done.
I wonder if he followed him into the dressing room at half-time. He's not left his side. Marzinho. Now Orlando is going off. And Marzinho, the Brazilian international, comes on. Fiandella. Well, I would think a tactical switch. I didn't notice any injury there to Orlando. Well, he's certainly had his moments in this game. Marzinho, another player with undoubted vision, an attacking flair too, a very positive player. Gario completely overhitting his class. And a bit of frustration beginning to creep in now among the Juventus players in their efforts to find a way through. Now Maialaro is going to come off. He was injured a few minutes ago. There he is. And I think it was Branca they were trying to bring on. Here it is, the former Sampdoria player. He's had a fair game, Trevor, Maialaro.
Yes, technically he's very, very gifted. I think he took a nasty bang on his head, actually. That's the reason why he's coming off. And the Fiorentina supporters weren't too pleased, because the Juventus players decided not to put the ball out for a throw-in.
Yes, play continued for some time before, in fact, I think it was Belushi cleared the ball into touch, one of the Fiorentina players. But Maialaro didn't make a full recovery, so he's now gone off, and Branca, who's the striker, has come on.
Yes, he was involved in a swap deal at the end of last season, or during the summer break, swapping with Busso, who was with Fiorentina last year. No, very much a Sampdoria player.
But of course, opportunities restricted at Sampdoria with Vialli and Mancini, the first-choice combination up front. The tackle then by Cola. But you begin to wonder now if it is not going to be Juventus's day. Certainly the Fiorentina fans don't think it is. Batistuta, scorer of the only goal so far. Now, did that come off Jurgen Kohler? I thought it did. So did the linesman. So a corner to Fiorentina. Which they're in no hurry whatsoever to take. And Trapattoni may be seeing his team here sinking to a third defeat. Another goal for Fiorentina would surely clinch it. That was Salvatore's shot. In goes Iachini. Away by Reuter. Foul by Marzinho. Reuter now. Here's Di Canio. with Alessio. The umpteenth foul given against Fiorentina defenders. Iachini this time on Baggio. It goes without saying.
An interesting statistic just to see how many fouls have actually been committed on Baggio this afternoon.
He's had no chance at all to turn. Every time he's collected the ball, Iachini has been there. In fairness to Iachini, he's made some legal challenges as well. There's Baggio now, whipping in the free kick. Casiraghi and Kola were there. And again, Maragini this time, I think he was caught in two minds. He started to come for it, and then thought better of it.
I think Casiraghi realises that could be the last chance for him this afternoon. That was a good chance. Got above the Fiorentina defence and really should have done better with that opportunity.
Now, Branca. It's got Salvatore in the middle. And support was arriving too in the shape of Batistuta. And this will squander a few more seconds now. Mazinho to take the throw. And the singing of the Fiorentina fans getting louder and louder now as they sense victory.
It's hard to believe, actually. They're just playing for 2 points. It's more like a semi-final of a FA Cup in England, isn't it?
Well, any victory over Juventus from any side in Italy is a momentous occasion. They don't lose too often. Certainly under Trapattoni, anyway. And as Trevor was saying, they're pretty anxious for points too, Fiorentina, to ease their plight down near the wrong end of the table. Dunga with the free kick, and it's there! Branca! Floated in by Dunga. Branca was on the end of it. And again, a lack of concentration at the back from Juventus, who are complaining once more that they lost Branca then. Now, well, the referee leading the players, including Tacconi, away from the linesman.
I think he's disallowed it, Peter, because it was indirect, and what Juventus are pointing out is that Branca never touched the ball. It went indirect from Dunga.
That appears to be the decision. Whether Branca got a touch or not, it was hard to see, but here's Batistuta now. This could settle it. Good save, though, by Tacconi, who somehow got a hand to it. A real controversy now and drama in the closing stages. Should that goal have been allowed to stand? Well, there was a lot of confusion around the ground, I must say. Off goes Julio Cesar. Fiorentina most aggrieved that the goal was not given. But if it was indirect and Branca didn't get a touch, the referee, of course, was absolutely right. I don't know what you felt there, Trevor. It was certainly hard to see whether Branca got a touch or not.
Well, I was thinking that Radici, the Fiorentina coach, would be very, very disappointed with Branca because he should have got a touch.
Dunga's free kick. Only a couple of minutes to go now. Kola. Maybe it won't matter anyway if Fiorentina can hold on. Dunga pumping it forward.
It was a perfectly flighted free kick from Dunga, straight onto the head of Branca. My feeling was that he didn't touch the ball.
Well, he certainly wheeled away in triumph. But did he make a decisive contact? Salvatore. A clash between Julio Cesar and Batistuta. But unless they can turn it round now, Juventus are heading for defeat. We're into injury time. They've got players committed upfield now of Juventus, and they might just get caught out. Branca, Tacconi's lost it, and it's there this time. there's no dispute about this one. The substitute has done it. It's 2-0 to Fiorentina. And that's it now, surely.
That was finishing from Branco of the highest quality. Superb finish.
I thought Tacconi had won the day, but Branco, his persistence paid off. Lovely skill there. And how about this end for a finish? Julio Cesar. Dunga kicking the ball at Casiraghi. That's going to earn him a caution. And it was very unnecessary too. Dunga certainly kicked the ball at Casiraghi while he was down on the ground. We're deep into injury time. Well, wasn't that far over, but far enough. It certainly seemed for a spell in this second half that Juventus would eventually get back on level terms. But a fighting finale from Fiorentina has changed all that. We've had now 3 minutes of time added on for stoppages. And there it is, the final whistle. And Fiorentina have beaten Juventus. I don't think the players, some of them realise that it has stopped. Well, Batistuta turns it in, but that won't count. The game finished 20 seconds ago, sir. What a day, though, for Fiorentina. Batistuta with the first goal early on in the game, a goal hotly disputed by Juventus, and then the second right at the death from Branco, who thought he'd scored just before that, or maybe Dunga thought that he had. But that one was disallowed. The last strike from Branco was allowed to stand, and Fiorentina have stopped Juventus in their stride here. The final score, Fiorentina 2, Juventus 0.
Not for the last time this season, I'm sure, Milan take pride of place in our roundup. Top against bottom, Ascoli under caretaker management after the sacking of their coach Sisti. Marco Simone, a lively deputy for Marco van Basten, who was stricken with flu. 1-0 after 7 minutes. Ascoli relying heavily on goalkeeper Lodieri, who deprived Donadoni of a second. And then was relieved as Simone's acrobatic attempt rose just too high. The second goal for Milan arrived with an air of inevitability. With 35 minutes gone, an untidy episode really. Albertini mishitting his shot, but Paolo Maldini changing the flight of the ball very effectively. Ascoli could complain of bad luck here, Pedro Troglio's clever free kick. But that was cancelled out when Milan, through Donadoni and a deflection, found the frame of the other goal. Then the toughest defence in the division was pierced. Fiorenzo Dianzara, 4 days past his 19th birthday, with a suitable cause for celebration. Dianzara darting through again. But Ascoli were put back in their place by Frank Rijkaard. 3-1 to Milan on the hour. Simone in particular striving to keep his place, his header cleared off the line. And then he served up on a plate Milan's fourth for Albertini. There could have been several more. Aldo Serena so close here. His appearance as a substitute, another indication of the depth in Milan's squad. They did miss Van Basten for his penalty-taking ability. A horrible miss by Franco Baresi, but Milan could easily afford it. Lazio, the latest challengers to Parma's unbeaten home record, not the place for a defensive disaster like this one. Begodi hesitating, and Lazio lost because of it. Thomas Brolin scarcely able to believe his good fortune. Brolin bursting through again in the second half. Parma still holding on to their 1-goal lead. And then their Brazilian goalkeeper, Taparel, in injury time, was ruled to have brought down Ruben Sosa. The two face-to-face at the penalty, but Sosa's kick comes out of the post, and Taparel, smothered in congratulations, perhaps because of his reputation as a saver of penalties, had spoilt Ruben Sosa's aim. Inter's first match under their new coach, Luis Suarez, who was in charge of Spain in the last World Cup. It was very eventful too. Codisporti clashing with Berti, a penalty for Inter, put away by Lothar Matthäus. But right on half-time, the Foggia goalkeeper Mancini was sent off, deliberate handball. Berti again, the Inter player involved. Walter Zenga, full of consolation. Foggia's reserve goalkeeper Rossin was brought on in place of Rambaudi, but soon beaten by Jürgen Klinsmann. But Foggia are real fighters. They survived Berti's chip. 2 down, remember, only 7 minutes to go, and Kolivanov earned them a penalty. Baiano converted it for his first goal since mid-November. And then, amazingly, Petrescu equalised for the 10 men with only 4 minutes to go. A marvellous comeback from Foggia, a crash course for Suarez on the problems he's inherited. The future has been looking brighter for Bari. 2 wins in their last 3 games, and in Turin they gave Torino goalkeeper Marchegiani the chance to show why he's Italy's second choice at the moment. David Platt defied in the second half. Enzo Schifo and Martin Vasquez almost broke down Bari's resistance here, making this chance for Pasquale Bruno. Alberga making an important save. One talking point, Pollicano charging down Alberga's clearance and claiming that he was far enough away not to have fouled the goalkeeper. The referee thought otherwise and took further action at Pollicano's protest. But the major topic for post-match discussion came with 4 minutes to go. Bari edging towards another much-needed point. Martin Vasquez and Venturin involved in the move. And then Cravero's shot, which counted to win the match for Torino, even though Pollicano was clearly in an offside position. In fact, he had to move smartly to make sure he didn't stop the ball going in. It was all very hard for Bari to take. Four straight wins for Sampdoria, and looking for revenge against Cagliari here, who surprised the champions back on the opening day of the season. And more surprises, Firicano's flick knocked in by Napoli. Cagliari with a good record on this ground. That was protected by Yelpo with a great save from Bjerkevud. A set piece brought Sampdoria level in the second half. Sreko Katanet soaring to meet Ivano Bonetti's corner. Sampdoria turned on the style after that. Mancini and Vialli, still a delightful double act. This would have been a marvellous goal. Cagliari still carrying a threat of their own. Mobley with this volley. And he was the victim in a most unsavoury episode towards the end of the game. A second bookable offence for Vialli, who saw red in more ways than one. And after being sent off, he turned his anger on Cagliari's coach, Carlo Mazzoni. The Italian authorities are sure to take extra action for that outburst. Genoa have gone off the boil recently, but they were expecting to put some fire back into their football at nearby Cremona. Eranio trying to set the tempo and so nearly opening the scoring. Cremonese, second from bottom and betraying their uncertainty again here, but surviving. And in the Argentinian Gustavo De Zotti, they do have a talented, if somewhat temperamental forward. It was to be De Zotti's day. Particularly when Gualco pushed Carlos Aguilera, and the normally reliable Uruguayan was outwitted by goalkeeper Rampula from the penalty. A second sharply taken goal by De Zotti delivered in the first minute of the second half, and Cremonese with a rare spring in their step now. De Zotti down to Maspero, almost a third. Genoa got going again here. Aguilera to Scuravi, 2-1. And Cremonese seemed certain to be caught out again. But first from Torrente and then Ruotolo, Rampula rode out the storm. And Cremonese collected their second win of the season. But Genoa, 3 defeats now in a row. Roma were beaten at Bari last week. Their eyes really on their European involvement, which starts again in March. Thomas Hessler's free kick just wide, with Verona soon on the defensive. Rudi Voller the problem for them this time, only the post preventing the opening goal. It arrived contentiously after 35 minutes. Voller offside before the ball was deflected by a defender. Play on, said the referee, and Andrea Carnevali did the rest for Roma. Every goal especially sweet for him after that one-year suspension. Verona still cautious in the second half. Carbone trying to give Roma the cushion of a second goal. They took a goal line clearance by Giannini from Davide Pellegrini to prevent Roma's afternoon being ruined. Voller, though, typically continued his quest for goals until the final whistle, which confirmed a 1-0 win for Roma. Finally to Bergamo, where Atalanta were looking to counter a 1-0 defeat in Naples at the start of the season, but it was Napoli who took command. Classy play by Careca, Andrea Silenzi scoring for the second Sunday in succession. And he almost added to that from Krippa's corner, Perron just flicking the header out of harm's way. Into the second half, and a real error of judgment by the French international Laurent Blanc, not spotting Claudio Canicchia as he tried to shepherd Tarantino's back past the goalkeeper Giovanni Galli. Galli crashing into the Argentinian, a penalty put away by Bianchesi. 1-1. Galli could have been sent off for that foul. Napoli very glad that he wasn't. An excellent save here from Canicchia. Well, let's look first of all at the bottom of the table, where Cremonese have climbed back above Bari, and Cagliari, who escaped so dramatically last season, have moved to within 1 point of Verona. Not looking too good for Genoa, who've now gone 5 games without a win. Lazio's self-inflicted defeat at Parma has lost them ground in the top half of the table, but the significant story of the day, the failure of Juventus in Florence, only their 3rd defeat of the season, but now Milan have a 5-point margin to savour. Juventus couldn't recover from allowing Gabriel Batistuta to beat their defence after only 7 minutes. They were chasing the game from then on, and they couldn't catch it. Milan are also becoming a more and more elusive target, and no one knows that better than Trapattoni's team.
Today on Football Italia, we visit the San Paolo Stadium as Napoli entertain Milan in what is traditionally one of Italian football's most passionate encounters. For Napoli, champions of Italy just 6 years ago, it's been a disappointing campaign. After a bright start, it's all gone wrong for the southern club. And despite a crucial win in midweek over Torino, their first victory in 2 months, Napoli could yet be dragged into the relegation battle. Napoli's main problem has been a lack of firepower. They've scored just twice in 9 matches. So it's hardly the ideal time to be facing the league leaders who have the best defensive record in Serie A. Milan are well on course for their 4th Scudetto in 5 seasons. Fabio Capello's side have lost just 2 league matches all season, and with 5 games to go, they hold a commanding lead at the top. However, the Rossoneri have lost on their last 2 visits to Naples, so they'll be taking nothing for granted today. Can Napoli produce another shock victory, or will Milan take another giant step towards the championship? Let's find out with your match commentators, Luther Blissett and first, Peter Brackley.
Napoli are without 3 players suspended today. Ayala, Longo and Busso are all missing from the squad. Tarantino, a key defender, is out injured, and Pari has flu. Cruz and Bourdin, though, are fit to return. Imbriani continues on the right in Busso's absence. Up front, Agostini has the main striker's role. Baresi is back from suspension to marshal Milan's defence, and George Weah returns to lead the attack, having recovered now from a broken arm. It's a very strong Milan side, but then when isn't it, given the squad that Capello has available to him? Simone has to stand down to accommodate Weah. Iranio is preferred in midfield to Donadoni. Away we go then as Milan kick off. Memories of some outstanding confrontations back in the late 80s always revive when these two teams meet. Inspired by Diego Maradona, Napoli had a championship-winning side themselves on 2 occasions, of course. Indeed, the clubs enjoyed fierce rivalry in those years. Napoli won the Scudetto in 87 and 90, Milan in 88 under Arrigo Sacchi before Capello's 3 titles in a row from 92 to 94. Napoli not entirely free of relegation worries yet. Of course, Milan going for the championship yet again, and very much in pole position at the moment, Luther Blissett.
They are indeed, and with Juve going down yesterday, obviously they're in an even stronger position today. So they'll be going into this game today knowing that really all they've got to do is keep doing what they've been doing, get a result today. Anything other than a loss obviously will be good for them, and you know, see themselves well on their way to another Scudetto.
This is Franco Baresi, who's back in the Milan side after suspension. Very smoky atmosphere at the moment. It's hard to see what's going on out there. It's been a tremendous build-up to the game. That's Bourdin taking the throw, the captain of Napoli, playing on the left side today. Away by Desai to George Weah. Milan will be very relieved to have Weah back. He was in tremendous form before suffering that broken arm. The World, African and European Footballer of the Year. This is Baresi now. Costa Quarta. Looking for the run of Panucci, who's back on the right. He offered down the left side in midweek, Panucci. This is Pizzi. He's a very talented player on the ball, Fausto Pizzi. Born on the outskirts of Milan. Indeed, he began his career with Inter. He's currently on loan from Parma. This is Pizzi on the ball now. Bogossian, the Frenchman, alongside him. Pizzi then with the free kick. Easily dealt with by Panucci. No real challenge on him at all. And the shot fired through. Comfortably saved by Sebastiano Rossi.
Well, they've got to be very disappointed with that. I mean, it's an opportunity when you get so early in the game. A free kick, you've got to get bodies in the box, and they just didn't watch it. Very disappointing.
Napoli with just 3 defeats at home this season against Fiorentina, Roma and Juventus. Forward by Baresi. Weah with the touch. Now Savicevic. Weah's pulled into the centre. Still Savicevic. Maldini storming ahead of him there in support. Imbriani on the counter-attack for Napoli. It was just too long for Pecchia. Albertini trying to release Roberto Baggio. Now, what can Agostini do here? He hasn't got too much support. It wasn't a bad effort though, just wide of goal from Agostini.
I think Rossi's just telling him there. I don't think Rennie should have backed off. We had 4 Milan defenders against Agostini on his own, and he still got the shot in.
Scored the only goal in last season's corresponding fixture, Agostini. but he hasn't scored now for 3 months. He'll be anxious to impress. He had one season with Milan back in the early 90s. Agostini. This is Savicevic. Good defending though by Cruz, the Brazilian. Bit careless though with his distribution. The cross by Desai. Here's George Weah. Baggio for Weah again. Great ball then by Baggio. And Weah's touch, not as sure as usual.
Yeah, that's something you don't see too often, is there? But I mean, a great little bit of forward play again from him there. Good control, good little layoff for the 1-2, but as you say, his touch let him down there, otherwise I'm sure there'd been a striking goal.
He's been out with 4 games now with that broken arm, George Weah. Here's Baggio taking the corner kick. Iranio in the 6-yard box. The photographer is in the way. It was a dangerous ball curled in by Baggio, but safely claimed. A routine save in the end, really, for Giuseppe Tagliatella.
It was, yeah, but I mean, he didn't even have to jump for that one, the goalkeeper, so someone really should have got there.
Maybe the photographer. Here's Panucci. Weah in the middle, so too was Baggio. It's a corner. Forced by the persistence there of Panucci. Baggio trotting over to take the corner kick. Napoli have to deal with the menace of George Weah. Desai's in there as well, and Maldini. Takalo has the task of policing Weah. And it's a free header from Panucci. Nobody picked him up. All eyes were on Desai, on Weah, on Maldini. And Panucci sneaked in to score on 13 minutes. Boskov on the line, looking very, very angry.
I can imagine. I mean, nobody whatsoever picked him up, and you could almost see it in slow motion going to happen. Nobody whatsoever moved anywhere near to stop him from getting to that. And, I mean, a great header.
It's his 4th goal in Serie A. Really positive header then by Christian Panucci. 13 minutes gone, and Milan have the early lead.
All on his own.
Costa Curta. In goes Pollicano. His first tussle, and he's won the free kick. The bookmakers might be taking odds now as to whether he'll finish the game, Pollicano. He's a very volatile character.
Yeah, I've seen him come on as sub and then gone off after about 15-20 minutes.
Becchia, rather Cruz for the free kick. The Brazilian sweeper. Returning to the side today after injury, and he's got his angles wrong there. Just too long for Imbriani.
Just struck that a little bit too strongly. It's a good idea. They really need to start now extending Milan in some way, trying to get the ball forward a little bit quicker and get bodies up there a bit quicker. Maybe getting around the outside of them, but they've really got to step the pace of their game up now.
Rossi, who's become such a fixture in goal then for Milan, actually made his Serie A debut against Napoli 9 years ago. Baggio, Desai, now Iranio. Caught then by Pollicano. He was a bit late then. Yellow card. He's only been on the field, what, 3 or 4 minutes?
That's right.
Just can't seem to keep his play in check, can he? I mean,
no,
what's he thinking of here?
No, I mean, there's absolutely no need to go in there whatsoever. I mean, the ball was always only going to go one way, and that's backwards. So you've done your job.
Well, he's 32 now, Pollicano, but it seems he'll never learn. His 4th season in Naples since moving from Torino. And he's certainly one of the most aggressive players in the Italian game. Now on by Iranio to Baggio. Just held it up then for the run of Panucci, but he swung it too far. Savicevic, tumbled by Bordin. I think it was a little unlucky then, Bordin.
It was a little. I mean, they really just had a little collision there, didn't they? And I think unfortunate to get that given against him.
But he knows his business. Referee Ceccherini, he's on the FIFA list. I reckon that was a bit harsh, though, on Bordin. Just exchanging views now with Savicevic. Smiles all round. Baggio.
Good bit of defensive work there.
Well, they were very sloppy on the goal, but otherwise they defended quite well, Napoli, but just not really doing anything further up the field. Savicevic. Milan continuing to dominate. Iranio. Iranio with a shot. Now Fausto Pizzi. And the threat of Pollicano easily curtailed. Costa Curta, who reads the game so well. On by Pizzi. Pollicano offside. Milan have got it right at the back again.
They have. They're very well drilled. They just don't give the opposition any real opportunity to start to build on attacks or get any real momentum to whatever they're doing. They just keep breaking it up when they get the opportunities.
They've won 4 of their last 5 away games in Serie A Milan. Only Juventus stopped them, making it 5 out of 5. Weah. Good support again from Bonucci. I think he just kept it in too. Tackle with the clearance. Maldini. Excellent play then by Albertini. Weah. Tackler misjudged it. Weah is through here. Weah shot. Savicevic lurking in the centre, but wide of goal from George Weah.
What a great bit of individual skill that was. Made out as if he was going to go and collect the ball and just let it run over the top of his head. Bit of a poor finish though, but didn't really get hold of it.
Tackler was struggling there to stay with him after that neat piece of deception from Weah. Pollicano. Too long for Agostini. Maldini's clearance. Desai. They just seem to have players all over the field, Milan. Weah now. Well, the idea was there, but not the execution. Cruz to Pollicano. And again, they've given the ball away so easily, Napoli.
They do. I mean, under no pressure whatsoever, players are just giving the ball away.
Savicevic. Super little run till he was impeded.
I think the defender was a bit fortunate there. The ball had travelled away from him as far as it did. Because there it is again, and he's just blocked his path there.
Well, he ran right across him.
He did, yeah, but I
Cruz
probably gave him the benefit of the doubt because the ball had run away as far as it did.
It's hard to think, though, Luther, of a clear-cut opening that they've managed to create, Napoli.
No, you can't really see it coming at the moment. They're really struggling with all different aspects of their game at the moment. I mean, just giving the ball away unnecessarily, and on free kicks, I mean, they've done nothing with it.
Well, they have a pacey player on the bench in Di Napoli. Maybe we'll see him in the second half. They've certainly got to do something in their efforts to alter the balance of power in this game. Chip through by Iranio. This is Weah. Savicevic. Iranio making that run. Savicevic with the cross. It goes Weah. Pollicano. Poor clearance to Albertini. The Napoli defender down injured along with George Weah.
It's a full bloody committed attempt to get the ball in the back of the net from Weah, and I think that's Tackler on the floor.
Yeah. Well, as we anticipated, he has his hands full with George Weah today. He's stuck manfully to the task.
He'll have the bruises to prove it as well at the end of this one.
He's done okay, actually, keeping Weah in check. It's no easy job, is it?
Not at all. There is, I mean, they both went all out together, and I think he just headbutted him in the side of the head.
Well, they were both rather brave then, Weah and Tackler, and it's Tackler who's come off worse, but Baggio, I'm sure, sportingly will return the ball to Napoli. Now there is the half-time whistle blown by referee Ceccarini. The first half certainly dominated by Milan, and they had their reward, the goal from Panucci on 13 minutes. Napoli, in truth, really haven't offered too much of a threat at the other end. Let's hope they can in the second half to make a match of it, really. The half-time score, Napoli 0, the leaders Milan 1. The home side, Napoli, in some trouble. Only the one goal down, but they've created so little of note at Milan's end of the field that you wonder if they can change it round in the second half. Milan very much on top and ahead through Panucci's goal on 13 minutes. Pecchia. Laid off it by Cruz to Tackler. This is Bodin. They've certainly got to be more ambitious, I think, in this second half, Napoli, if they are to extend Milan in any way.
They have indeed, and it looks as if at the moment it started exactly the way the first half finished.
Maldini. Imbriani tracking back with him, but his challenge was easily dismissed. Oh, and almost an own goal then.
What a super save that was.
Policano's header, and it was a brilliant save by Tagliatella.
Super ball in there from Maldini, again on his right peg, and I mean, that is a fine save.
You'd have been proud of that as a header, Luther, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think I might put it in the top corner though with that one though.
And it demanded the reflex save then from Tagliatella to keep the score at 1. Baggio with the corner. Albertini. Baggio was a little off balance then. Eagerly closed down by Bodin. Baggio, whose free kick deflected off Oliveira for Milan's winner at Cagliari on Wednesday. Indeed, both goals were own goals in their 2-1 win. Napoli looking to repeat their draw with Milan earlier in the season, remember, at the San Siro. And they are the draw specialists in Serie A this season, 11 from 29 games. But they have a lot to do to rescue this one, but here's Agostini now. At least it was a sight of goal.
It was, yeah, and in the end all they could do, Milan, was to crowd him out, because for one moment there they were caught out just looking at each other saying, have you got him?
Well, he was their leading goal scorer last season, Agostini, 13 in Serie A, just a 4 in this campaign. But he's been a fairly prolific scorer down the years with his various clubs. Now 32, Agostini. And remember, he did get the winner in this fixture last season. Forward by Bodin. Iranio was first to it, though. Now Policano. Pizzi, excellent control. Agostini making the run to open up some space for him, but he couldn't deliver the shot. Not a telling one, anyway.
Well, that's twice now in the last minute or so that at least we've seen a little bit of attacking further from them. So let's hope this is the beginning and they might be able to push Milan back a little bit more.
This is Maldini. Showed too much of that, though, to Imbriani. Excellent persistence shown by him. Bogossia. They need to get him more involved. And this man, Pizzi. No foul by Iranio, to the dismay of Pizzi, but it will be a throw. Pecchia.
Caronese. And then by Cruz. Here's the Brazilian again, and he has a fierce shot. Not quite fierce enough this time. Pizzi. In goes Agostini. Baresi just did enough to deter him. But this is a promising spell now for Napoli. Cruz. Vecchia to Pizzi. Caronese. In goes Agostini. Maldini and Baresi between them, managing to deny him. But I would think Poskov has had a word at half-time, Luther.
Yeah, I think he might have just said a thing or two to them, and it seemed to fire them up a little bit. They're now playing with a lot more passion, a lot more desire to actually try and win the game. And in that respect, Milan now a little bit on the back foot. They're finding it difficult to clear the balls when it goes into their box. And obviously there's a bit more pressure on them now.
And the crowd can sense it too. They're certainly being much more positive now, Napoli. They've got to show some belief in themselves. Rossi will be aware of the threat that Cruz poses on these free kicks. Got 7 goals last season, only 1 in this campaign. But like most Brazilians, he can certainly pose a threat. Here's Cruz now. Rossi right behind it. But it's looking as if he might be a bit more occupied in the second half, Rossi, as the rain begins to fall very heavily now. Baresi elegantly forward. On by Radio. Weah. Weah then in tandem with Simone up front for Milan. Altomari. Now Pecchia. And neither side really achieving too much at either end. Pollicano. Now Pizzi. On for Pecchia. We've got options here. Bought in. Imbriani. Didn't fall for Pizzi. But here's Pollicano. And he spurned the opportunity, and then Weah's control was poor. Pollicano again. Oh dear, the finishing was woeful.
It was indeed. I mean, that was a real threat there for Milan at one moment there, but the ball just happened to come a little bit behind him, and they managed to get the ball away.
Well, they are, remember, the lowest scorers in Serie A this season, Napoli, and I think they've underlined why today. Just not sharp enough. And the finishing has been poor. But at least they have raised their game in the second half, Napoli. Without threatening Milan too often. Bonucci with a throw. Laid off by Albertini to Costa Curta. Baresi, who'd spotted Weah. Desai. Here's Donadoni. Albertini making the run. Now Weah. Some good approach play from Milan here. Weah to Simone. Now they've got defenders back, Napoli. Weah with a shot, but he scuffed it really. But they should have made more of that attack. Simone was in an excellent position. Weah playing the ball beyond him.
Yeah, it was a bit of a poor pass from Weah there. If he had given him just a decent ball in front of him, I would have thought that would have been 2-0, and it could have been all over for them.
As it is, Napoli are still in contention, just a 1 goal behind. That's a foul by Desai on Altomari. Moskov urging his troops on. 65 next month. Voyed in Moskov. Great servant to European football. Here's another one, Baresi. Maldini. Where Cruz indecisively. Well, Capello will want a little more from his team now, I would think, in this second half, with just a 1 goal. Always a chance Napoli might sneak one. Here's Baresi. Now Donadoni. Played in for Simone. Where? Tackler just did enough to thwart him.
Doesn't seem to have his shooting boots on today, does he?
Well, he's normally razor sharp in front of goal, George Weah. Difficult angle for him. And Tackler
did jump in a little bit.
Made it difficult, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Donadoni to Simone. Played off to Albertini. Well, he hasn't scored in Serie A this season. And he didn't really look likely to then. His only goal has come whilst playing for the national team. Simone. Can't get through. But here is Donadoni in support. Desai making his way into the middle. Still Donadoni. Donadoni shot off the post. Fierce drive then by Donadoni.
And that is just one of the things that at the moment Napoli are lacking, somebody that will suddenly do something and create. I mean, that was very unfortunate.
Only inches away then from his second goal in Serie A this season. So an escape for Napoli. But Napoli's attacking sorties haven't carried any real weight so far. You can't see that changing, given the strength of Milan's back line and the lack of potency up front for Napoli. Just 5 minutes remaining now. Lost a quarter with a free kick for Milan. Donadoni looking for Simone. The block from Colonnesi. Here's Donadoni. Baresi. Never rushed, never hurried Baresi. When he has time on the ball, he uses it so well. Bordin. And I think Luther, quite clearly there's been a difference in class this afternoon.
I think so, yeah. And now you can see there's a few of the Napoli players now already giving it up, thinking that's it, it's all over. Just really waiting for the whistle to go.
Iradio. But now it's Pollicano. Di Napoli. Perfectly timed tackle from Costa Curta. And it's even a throw to Milan. Costa Curta. Curious pass. Imbriani. Away from Donadoni. That was Di Napoli. Now Pecchia. Clever play by Iradio. Weah. Simone had made that angled run, but without receiving the service. Now Milan's defence was split open then. It's a chance. Oh, it's over the bar. Oh.
What a guilt. Well, what an opportunity that was to have tied it up. It's not often you find Milan in the disarray they were there, and incredible that he couldn't put that away.
On by Desai to Ware. Here is Iranio. Simone just find some room in the centre. Ware. Simone again. Now Iranio. And Iranio has kept it in. And then shooting wide with Simone and Ware in support. It was a squandered opportunity, and this is Tackler in trouble.
It was a great opportunity just to slip that ball back post where Milan had players coming in, and that really would have killed the match off.
Dived in there, Tackler.
Yeah, I don't exactly think that hit him in the face.
Parisi wants Rossi to collect. Away by Tackler. In goes Albertini. Simone. Donadoni, who's grafted so hard since coming on as a second-half substitute. Iranio. Albertini. Forward by Panucci. Ware could make nothing of it. Pollicano. Now Di Napoli, has he got the pace here? Oh, Costa Curta accelerating away from him. Excellent defending by Costa Curta. Panucci. And the final whistle is blown to signal yet another Milan win. And their relentless drive towards the title continues unabated. Just the odd scare for them really today from Napoli. And you always felt Milan had the game well under control. George Ware back in the side today, not on the score sheet, it's Panucci, whose goal has proved to be the winner. The final score in the San Paolo Stadium in Naples, Napoli 0, Milan 1.
So Milan take another giant step towards Lo Scudetto with that victory. Meanwhile, at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome, Lazio played host to Parma. Here's Gary Bloom.
Boksic. Slip back to Chamot. Chamot's only ever scored one Serie A goal, and he was desperately close to his second there. Not often you find Chamot pushing forward into these sort of positions. Musi. Apolloni given away dangerously to Signori. And this is Fuzet, and Lazio have the lead. And that goal was gift-wrapped by Parma once they'd given possession away inside the last third of the field. But a terrific strike from Diego Fuzet. Bucci comprehensively beaten. Minotti. Zola. This is Musi. And this is Sensini arriving, and a great save by Marcagiani. Well, Sensini was the only Parma player forward here, and he drew an excellent stop from Marcagiani. Signori. Negro. And Vinter pressing forward here. This is Boksic. Parma in full retreat as Boksic helps the ball over the crossbar. Boksic has just 3 goals in 20 Serie A appearances this season. Signori. This is Boksic. Vinter. Fuzet. This is Casiraghi. And that's another outstanding goal for Lazio. Pierluigi Casiraghi has beaten his personal best in Serie A in terms of goals. Zola with the corner. Oh, and Favali headed the ball from underneath his own crossbar. Good clearance by the Lazio defender. In fairness, there wasn't a Parma player too close to him, but that was a real moment of danger. Marcolin. Vinter. And this is Boksic. Oh, goodness me. Boksic unable to add to the 3 goals he's scored this season. Favali. Vinter. Well, Lazio have had 2 great opportunities now to add to their 2-goal advantage. The first came from Boksic, and then Vinter got forward, looking for that 3rd goal. Signori. Boksic is through again here. Driven straight at Buffon. Well, the reserve goalkeeper for Parma has seen plenty of action. Cannavaro. Oh, good attempt on goal and a good stop too by Marcagiani. He really has been underemployed in this game. Stoichkov with a corner. Stoichkov. Zola. Yes, 2-1. Parma are right back in it with 10 minutes left. Zola's 9th Serie A goal of the season. He scored for the first time in 4 months for Parma in midweek against Cremonese, and he scored again here. This was terrific control by Zola, and quite a shot. That's Favali with the throw. Signori. And he's past 2 Parma players. Fuser breaks to his left. Casiraghis through the middle. And the ball seemed to get stuck under Casiraghi's studs then, as he headed for goal. Casiraghi seemed to wait an age before attempting a shot.
So Lazio gain a crucial victory. Elsewhere, second-place Juventus took on Sampdoria in a match brought forward a day due to the Turin club's European commitments. Meanwhile, third-place Fiorentina had a tough away match at Udinese, while there was a crucial relegation battle between Piacenza and Torino. But we start our roundup with Atalanta's clash with Cagliari. Here's Gary Bloom.
At the start of play, just 1 point separated these 2 teams in the bottom half of the table. A win for either side would practically ensure Serie A survival. Atalanta dominated this fixture. Scro had already gone close to scoring before Christian Vieri claimed the opening goal 17 minutes in. Cagliari replied with a Bissoli header, but the goal was ruled out for pushing. Atalanta doubled their advantage shortly before half-time. A 4-man move was finished off in style by Morfeo, who struck his 10th goal in Serie A this season. Cagliari were, quite literally, handed the opportunity to get back into this match by Montero. Ferron used his hands to much better effect, saving Oliveira's penalty, then improvising on the rebound. The home side secured maximum points late on. Once again, Vieri showed why he's one of Italy's most sought-after players. He claimed his 2nd, Atalanta's 3rd. The match ended 3-0 thanks to Ferron in Atalanta's goal. Cagliari have now gone 6 games without a win. It certainly rained goals when these sides met in Cremona back in December. Bari were eager to avenge that 7-1 defeat. The conditions made it difficult for defenders in this particular match. Kenneth Anderson proved a real handful. Cremonese were fortunate to escape here. Both teams are on equal points in the relegation zone. Cremonese went into the interval 1 goal up. Perovic scored his 5th goal in Serie A. Bari came back to win after being a goal down in midweek away to Atalanta. It's that commendable fighting spirit which could see them playing top-flight football again next season. Parente almost drew Bari level before Igor Proti did after 56 minutes. Protti's never-say-die approach was never illustrated more clearly 10 minutes later, when he scored the goal which put Bari ahead. If Bari do stay up, they'll owe a huge debt to their captain. He's now scored 22 goals in Serie A this season. It was a shame Sala didn't copy his skipper's example. The defender was sent off for retaliation. In stoppage time, Tentoni went looking for a penalty, but instead the referee decided to award the Cremonese striker a caution for diving. It was Tentoni's second of the game, so he was red-carded as Cremonese went down to their third successive defeat. Meanwhile, Igor Protti was rightly given a hero's send-off. Padova didn't really know what had hit them at the San Siro. Branca scored the first of Inter's 8 goals 4 minutes in. Zanetti created the opening. If you'd wondered why Padova have the worst defensive record in Serie A, look no further than Inter's second goal. Even when they're not under pressure, Padova seemed determined to give goals away. Benny Carboni accepted Quickie's charity. Inter's defending wasn't that much better at the other end. Amoruso pulled a goal back for Serie A's bottom club, following Festa's error. But Marco Branca soon restored Inter's 2-goal advantage with another well-taken header. Now stand by for an outstanding effort from Paul Ince. His first goal at the San Siro left the England international beaming from ear to ear. That's now 2 goals in a week for Ince, who, despite press reports, clearly seems to be enjoying himself. Inter's 5th goal was just as spectacular. Marco Branca claimed his hat-trick 2 minutes after the interval to take his tally to 18 for the season. Amoruso took his tally to 13. His goal made it 5-2. Even Gianluca Festa managed to get his name on the score sheet. The tough defender scored for only the 4th time in his Serie A career. Padova had the chance to reduce the deficit to 3 goals once again from the penalty spot. Pagliuca denied Amoruso his hat-trick though. It remains 6-2. Del Bianco replaced Boniuti at half-time, but nothing really changed. Gans scored Inter's 7th, 11 minutes after coming on for Carboni, and he was understandably overjoyed. Gans reserved some energy to score the final goal of the afternoon. Inter hadn't scored 8 goals in Serie A for 38 years, but that was of little consolation to Padova's coach, Mauro Zandriani. It took Sampdoria just 22 seconds to hit the front in Turin. Enrico Chiesa scored his 19th goal of the season in just 23 appearances. This match was brought forward a day in view of Juve's Champions Cup date with Nantes. Here, Ravanelli couldn't find a way past Senga. But it was a different story at the other end. Sampdoria found it easy to get past Juve's wide-open defence. Clarence Seedorf may feel he should have done better here. But the young Dutchman did start the move, which led to Sampdoria's 2nd goal. Inevitably, Chiesa was also involved. Surprisingly, Peruzzi was beaten at his near post by fullback David Balleri. Chiesa also had a hand in the Genoa side's 3rd. This time, Seedorf kept his composure to beat Peruzzi. Sampdoria celebrated their first win away to Juventus for 13 years as the champions virtually kissed goodbye to their hopes of retaining their title. Peruzzi saved his side from an even heavier defeat. Juve got it all wrong on the day as their 6-game winning run came to an abrupt end. Crowd trouble tarnished this relegation fixture, apparently fueled by the presence of some 200 Juventus fans. The most significant incident, from a footballing point of view, came in the very first minute. Piovani's 8th goal of the season ultimately proved to be the winner. Torino didn't deserve to lose this game. Already without 8 first-team players, they found luck had completely deserted them. Rizzitelli was denied by Taibbi. Piacenza are lying merely 1 place above the relegation zone. They knew a win for Torino would have put a huge dent in the home side's survival ambitions. failing to add to their slender lead made life even more uncomfortable. Caccia and Moretti spurned opportunities to increase Piacenza's lead. Torino's last chance to avoid their fourth straight defeat disappeared after Rizzitelli struck the crossbar. They're heading for Serie B for only the third time in their history. Fiorentina's last Serie A win in Udine came 14 years ago. It was a shame Fiorentina limited their fireworks to the terraces. Toldo's aberration resulted in the only goal of the game, which arrived after 7 minutes. Paolo Poggi was the scorer. Toldo's mistake was in keeping with his club's recent form. They've now conceded 9 goals in 3 matches. Udinese had lost 4 in a row before this fixture, so it goes without saying how precious the 3 points were from this game. They dominated the first half. Oliver Bierhoff will have been disappointed he failed to add to the 14 goals he's already scored in Serie A this season. Gabriel Batistuta scored twice in Fiorentina's 3-0 victory over Udinese back in December. Once again, he provided the biggest threat to Zaccheroni's side, but ended this particular match without a goal to his name. The Argentine has failed to score in 6 of his last 7 Serie A games. He might have had a hat-trick in this one. Fiorentina suffered their 2nd consecutive away defeat. Home fans are already preparing for a season in European competition. All being well, Vicenza could be heading for UEFA Cup place. Therefore, victory against Roma was vital. Roberto Magita could have given them an early lead. Like their opponents, Roma have also enjoyed a positive end to the season. They were unbeaten in 7 games going into this fixture. They'd won their last 4. Jonas Tern and Enrico Annoni both came close to putting Roma ahead. It's not often you see Annoni trying the spectacular. It's not often you see Roma gifting the opposition goals either, but that's exactly what they did shortly before the half-hour mark. Otero was able to claim his 12th Serie A goal. On the stroke of half-time, Vicenza suffered a double blow. Grossi gave away a penalty and was also sent off for his challenge on Fonseca, who levelled the scores. The opening period ended with yet another dismissal. Bjorklund's foul on Fonseca went unpunished, and the Uruguayan foolishly took his protest too far. He was cautioned twice in a matter of seconds. Vicenza were the stronger side after the break. Both Rossi and Maini might have put the home team back in front. Their task was made that much easier after Roma had yet another player sent off. Del Vecchia received his 2nd yellow card and left his team down to 9 men. The winning goal arrived just 9 minutes from full-time. Magita headed the ball into an unguarded net after Cervoni had saved Lombardini's effort. Roma still had an opportunity to claim something from this game. The Biagio wasted it. Vicenza enjoyed their 3rd successive victory. Milan have extended their lead to 9 points from Juventus with only 4 games left. As the Rossoneri head for their 15th Scudetto, the focus of attention will now fall on the race for UEFA Cup places. Only 6 points separate 7 clubs below the top 2. At the other end, Udinese and Atalanta have virtually secured their place in Serie A for next season. The same 4 clubs occupy the relegation positions. Only Bari avoided defeat in week 30 to boost their chances of staying up. In the scoring stakes, Igor Protius pulled 2 goals clear of Beppe Signori, while Chiesa's early strike against Juventus lifts the Sampdoria forward to 19. Batistuta has been joined on 18 by Branca, who claimed his 2nd hat-trick this season. And we leave you with the decisive moments from week 30. A vital goal for Milan scored by Christian Panucci, and Juve's demise at the hands of Sampdoria, which seems certain to be Milan's Scudetto.
In the 60s. One thing that Porto must not do is let anything slip early on. An away goal for Bayern Munich, who've been scoring them in bundles in their away games in this tournament to get this far. Happened yet. Vichka. They still lead 2-0 from the first leg. Zidane. Dries Hansen. It's Croce. The Swiss international Thierry Sforza was the crucial player for Bayern Munich there. Away leg. Vichka. Lizarazu has taken it on past Fry. He was looking for Tolo by the far post. Dries Hansen. Zidane given some space, was certainly wanting to use it with a quick shot. Knocked away by Babel. Well, it was one of those where you sensed the attacker might have made a lot of it, trying to get another bite at it. Fry. Down for Clinton. Zidane will take the corner. It's from a corner about this time in the first leg. Bayern Munich got in front with Thomas Helmer's header, but Bayern's own marking there better than Bordeaux's was in that particular moment a fortnight ago. Vichka. Boncarel at pace. Stop across, and it's not a good one. Vichka. Dugarry. It shows again the potential that the game can change in a second here. Bayern Munich would feel there's a certain degree of assurance about the way the game's gone so far, and then a flash of brilliance there from Christophe Dugarry to sidestep Helmer and hit a terrific shot that did swerve, and fortunately for Kahn kept on swerving beyond the post. Any problems in the very late. Hello chasing on. They've really got to go for broke now. They've got a free kick. There have been one or two put in place. Vichka. Well, the goalkeeper was going across there, and they claimed that the shot was charged down with an arm, and Mateus says, no, the chest. It certainly flew from the left boot of Richard Vichka. Headed on by Croce twice. Bayern Munich are still regrouping in the middle. Needed a better ball in. Can't get through. Dogon. Dugarry. Zidane. Vichka. Still Richard Vichka. Oh. Well, play on was the message, and even that nearly went to Bordeaux's advantage. But it was a wonderful run from the Dutchman. Kept on going. It was certainly a dive at the end of it. And then the shot that could have gone either side of Kahn went straight at him. We'll take it. Dries Hansen is up there in the centre. Dugarry, hands on knees, and well, Mateus is for a small man. We'll feel now that they are going to go home with the UEFA Cup. They've hardly had a chance in the 52 minutes that we've had to this point. But Mehmet Scholl, who scored in the home leg, has scored again here. And down on the Bordeaux bench, they must feel that their hopes have been virtually extinguished. It was a bit of a chapter of errors here. Great pressing by Klinsmann, and then Kostadinov with a delightful touch, and the shot from Scholl taking a deflection. Now Bordeaux Do need 4. And Khan has the chance for one of them. And it just won't happen for Bordeaux. It was a splendid try from Tolo. Touch there off Croci. Just hits the number 8 and veers off into the corner. No chance for Ouar. So eventually the free kick will be taken here for Bordeaux. Vichka and Zidane. Zidane into the wall rather tamely. Charged down by Boncarel. Free kick which Vichka will take. Well, Dutuel replacing Croci. Vichka. Vichka's cross. Oh, and Tolo, if he'd been... Oh, Fries Hansen had a little bit of space by the near post. Then it's another corner. And that's too long by... And the goalkeeper might have come and got that one, felt. And that wasn't a very tidy challenge by Dogon on Zickler, who picked himself. Bordeaux wasting their own time and delaying the taking of the free kick. Scholl puts it at the goalkeeper, who fists it away, and successfully too. Tolo. This is Dugarry. Show his dribbling skills, but whenever... Oh, and they've got another one! Kostadinov! So it's 2-0 on the night, 4-0 on aggregate. And Bayern Munich, with this capacity to score in away matches, have carried it right through to the final itself. And it was a routine goal, really, and Bordeaux, who were caught out from a corner in the first match, are certainly found wanting again. And the Bulgarian Emil Kostadinov, who's been somewhat of a fringe figure in this European run, scores in the second leg of the final to general rejoicing for all connected with Bayern Munich. A real show of strength. Tolo is there. Down he goes with a save or two. But here's an opportunity, at least, to leave a mark on the scoreline in this second leg. Zidane into the wall. And it's taken from him by Ziga. Klinsmann. Scored 19 goals on their travels in 6 away matches in the UEFA Cup. The ball through for the runner. Maybe Bayern would be opened up, but Zidane has moved away this time. And a goal from Dutuel. Well, in changing the taker of the free kick, they've changed their luck. 15 minutes to go. And Bordeaux score for the first time in the final. And the surprise weapon was Dutuel. And Khan couldn't cope with the power of it. So it's Bordeaux 1, Bayern Munich 2. This evening, 4-1 now to the German club on aggregate. Helba. Klinsmann was setting himself. This is Zickler. Scholl is in the middle. And a touch by Klinsmann, was it? Beckenbauer celebrates. And it's all turned back Bayern Munich's way again. Thomas Strunz hit it. And Uar was stranded. Klinsmann was right in there fighting. Zickler cut it back here. There's Strunz, there's Klinsmann, and that's Klinsmann's goal. Not one that he knew too much about. But a goal for Klinsmann that will give him his 15th and the all-time record in European competition as an individual goal scorer in one season. So it's finishing here with a real flourish. Is there another goal in the bag? Well, there could easily have been a penalty. The referee let the game go on. Mehmet Scholl, as Oslan went in, and Strunz had the shot that was turned behind for the corner. Comes here to Vitacek. Forwards instincts, trying to get in on the act as well. Here tonight, not just settling for defending a 2-0 lead from the first leg, but they've won the second leg by 3-1, 5-1 on aggregate. And after 20 years, Bayern Munich wear again a European crown. UEFA Cup winners for the first time to complete the full set of European titles. Too good for Bordeaux over 2 games. The platform was built in Munich 2 weeks ago with goals from Helmer and Scholl. And Scholl's goal tonight, the first of the evening, vital to shape the second leg. Kostadinov quickly got a second. Dutuel got one back for Bordeaux, and then just to round it all off neatly, Jürgen Klinsmann deflecting in Strunz's shot. And Bordeaux well beaten in the final analysis. And Jean-Pierre Papin is part of the celebration. Suspended tonight, remember, but brought here by Bayern Munich. And getting on the pitch. Still 1 or 2 mementos to be put round Germanic shoulders. And here goes Lothar Matthäus. The UEFA Cup belongs to Bayern Munich. They've done it in the grand manner. A 5-1 aggregate success over Bordeaux, winning both legs.
Yes, that was Bayern's first European triumph, of course, for 21 years, and no doubt a great relief for club president, the legendary Franz Beckenbauer, who sacked his coach and took over himself just 2 weeks ago. And 2 more cup finals are coming up on SBS TV this Sunday afternoon at 12:30. We have a full replay of the Scottish FA Cup final between Rangers and Hearts. And then on Thursday morning from 5 AM, the big one, the European Champions Cup final between Juventus and Ajax from the Olympic Stadium in Rome. You can see highlights of that game in this time slot, 8:30 next Thursday evening. Back home, don't forget the Ericsson Cup Grand Final will be live on SBS TV on Sunday week, the 26th of May. That's everywhere except in the originating city from 2 p.m, half an hour earlier in Adelaide. Certainly a hectic time for football, so stay with SBS for the very best of the action. But for now, from the World Game, good night.
wrestling match, Lemmy or God?
Lemmy.
God. Wrong. Trick question. Lemmy is God.